Hey everyone, my name is Clement. Most people just call me Clem. Professionally, I'm a financial planner, but I'm also a father of two, a husband to one, and an educator to many. I spend my days educating people like yourselves on the complex world of personal finances. When I first started out upon graduating from BCIT, I assumed everything I knew about finance was more or less common knowledge. That is, until I started getting questions from my good friends and families. They would ask me, Clement, how can I buy an RSP? How much interest do I earn in a TSFA? Honestly though, you don't buy RSPs, you invest in them. And it's not a TSFA, it's a TFSA, tax-free savings account. This one time, I even had a client who brought her checkbook to open an account with me, but didn't even know how to fill out the check. That's when I realized how big the disconnect was between regular folks and financial planners. Fast forward 8 years, I've built a small little practice and started recognizing a shift in the business. Debt levels in Canada are accelerating faster than ever, with Canadians owing almost $2.3 trillion in debt. COVID has caused major job losses affecting 3.1 million Canadians, along with almost 1 in 7 small businesses being forced to close their doors across Canada. The Canadian Securities Administrators are now running radio ads about how much you pay in investment fees to your bank, to your financial advisors, and anyone else involved in the commissions programs. Larger financial institutions like the Big Five banks are now only willing to talk to high net worth individuals, and anyone with less money than their required minimums are being moved down to lower service levels. Questrade? Well, simple. They're both gaining assets faster than ever, thanks to the banks basically making everyone upset. BlackRock and Vanguard are now top providers in the ETF exchange-traded fund world, with over $3 trillion in assets under management. Oh, did I mention? The stock market just crashed. Housing prices continue to skyrocket in 2 certain areas, and that is Vancouver and Toronto. And inflation is still a thing. And yet no one has made the official call to have Canadians educated in the basic understanding of personal finances. Canadians are not okay. That's why I made the decision to start making these videos, to educate and bring some knowledge to Canadians about financial responsibility. Can you imagine how different our lives would be if Canadians knew that if they just saved 3 months worth of pay in the form of an emergency fund, that they could have made it through this pandemic much more comfortably? And if they knew that banks are actually much more willing to lend you money when you don't actually need it than when you do need it? And how about setting up a personal line of credit, not that you even need to use it, as a rainy day fund? It's not a terrible idea because it's better than not having one. And what if most employed individuals could actually just save money on filing their taxes by doing it free online? And it's really not that hard. Or how about buying a second-hand car would actually save you almost 20% on any vehicle purchased, and that if you approached a dealer with a full cash payment that was set up previously with the loan at the bank, you'd get an even deeper discount. How about buying a home? If everyone knew that 5% down payment was already enough, though not ideal, to initiate your first home purchase, there would actually be a lot more homeowners. And for the renters out there, what if I told you that your $1,600 monthly rent was the equivalent of paying someone's $350,000 mortgage? And that if you went and lived with your parents for a year and saved $1,600 a month instead, you could buy a home with the same $350,000 mortgage. And for you 20-year-olds out there, what if I told you that if all you had to do was save $260 a month today, consistently, that you'd have $1 million by the time you retire. I want to talk about practical subjects, from basic things like retirement savings plans and tax-free savings accounts, to more complex subjects like economics, asset allocation, investing in stocks, exchange-traded funds, mutual funds, real estate, mortgages, insurance, and much more. And in exchange for these regular informational videos, I want you to promise me that you will actually take the time to become financially literate, because things like this aren't taught at school. With social media creating an overly materialistic world for the youth of today, I'm actually worried about where the world is going to end up. So I'm excited to start this conversation with all of you, and hope we can work together in learning and educating each other to become a more financially literate community.